Hi guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I've been on BookTube today for 5 years. 5 years ago today I uploaded my very first BookTube video. It was an April wrap up and it was really bad, and I like to go back and look at that video sometimes and think about how much better I am now at recording. I'm not the best, but I'm definitely better than I was 5 years ago. So I was really thinking about what I kind of like wanted to do for this anniversary. I think I did something for my first year anniversary, and then kind of after that I haven't really done that much other than maybe I think mention it in videos. I'm not really sure if I even did, because sometimes it would just pass me by and I wouldn't even notice that it had been my anniversary until like a few weeks later, and I was like, oh oops. But this one is my fifth one, and it kind of feels a little bit significant because it's been 5 years. Like it fills a whole hand. So yeah, I just wanted to do some sort of special video just to mark the occasion, you know? So to try and do that, I decided I would just come up with a list about 5 things I learned from BookTube in 5 years, and I was able to kind of come up with that list pretty easily. I just thought I would discuss that list now, and if anyone has just started BookTube and is kind of unsure of what direction to go or what to do on BookTube, or if people are thinking about it, or even people who are like oldies like me on BookTube now and want to share their own advice or things that they've learned in the comments, please do, because that would be fantastic. Let's all talk about all the different things we've learned, the do's and don'ts, and that would be great. There is a BookTube oldie tag that's created just recently by Monica, and I'm definitely going to do that soon because that one is so much fun as well. So I'm definitely going to do that soon, because I think now I've been here 5 years, I do kind of feel like an oldie on BookTube, because there's been so many great channels that have popped up recently. I do feel like I'm kind of like an old hag now on BookTube. Everyone is just so young and pretty, and I'm just not. The first thing that I wrote down when I was thinking about the things I've learned from BookTube over the past 5 years is actually what I think is a really important one, which is just stay away from the drama. Just don't try. There is so, like, you don't realize when you start this channel, when you start reading and talking about books, you actually don't realize the amount of drama that people create either on YouTube itself or on Twitter. Book Twitter is just a crazy pitfire of hell sometimes, and sometimes it's fine to just take a step backwards and not get involved. In the 5 years that I've been on BookTube, I have very rarely gotten involved in any kind of discussion, because sometimes I just like to take a step back and I'm like, I am not inviting this drama into my life. I don't want to stress about it. I might talk about it with some of my like BookTube besties just on Messenger or something, just to discuss like what I feel about it, what they feel about it, and do it in a private manner, which is, you know, still cathartic. I'm still getting my feelings out, but I'm not doing it for the whole world to see, which is sometimes better. Sometimes what you have to say, the whole world doesn't need to hear it. The only times I've ever done kind of discussion videos or anything about things that I've seen people talk about is things that I feel quite passionately about, and things that I feel I have like a good opinion on, which were things like I did a video before on just YA. I think people were bashing YA and YA being crap, and obviously I don't believe that, so I think I did a video about that. I did a video about the fact that booktubers do buy secondhand books and they do use the libraries. Yes, people do enjoy having a new book, but so many booktubers still use libraries. They use libraries in person, they use libraries in their phone, they use libraries in their tablets, and yeah, it just really annoys me when someone comes along and tries to be a little bit superior by saying that, you know, other booktubers don't use libraries, whatever, and I'm like, yes we do. So that was one that I did, and then I did another one talking about the Bronze Horseman trilogy, because that is one of my favourite trilogies of all time, and sometimes I like to just defend it when people are being mean about it, and that's okay. To respect people's opinions about that, but also deliver one of my own, which I felt kind of strongly about, so that was great. But in terms of other things, when there's just been a lot of other discussions, I just have stepped away and I just haven't gotten involved, and I have been thankful for that. And believe me, if you were sometimes just wondering about whether you should wade into any drama that is happening, just take a breath, maybe say, not today, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll say my piece tomorrow, and sometimes things will have calmed down by then, or you will have decided that you don't really need to be shouting your opinion, and that's fine. My number 2 thing that I've learned is just read what you want. It doesn't matter about what other people are reading, what the most popular booktubers are reading when you start. Just read what you want to read. Don't feel pressure to be reading particular authors. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has done that when they've started. It's kind of completely natural to feel like you need to buy or you need to borrow the books that other people are reading, even if it's not particularly your taste. I've seen so many booktubers who've talked about what they read when they first started booktubing, and then what they're reading now, and how vastly those tastes have changed. And at the end of the day, if you're kind of dabbling in what you like to read, maybe don't buy those books, maybe use the library to to borrow those books instead of wasting your money on books that you might end up unhauling in a few years because your tastes have completely changed. Don't be afraid to mix genres. Don't be afraid to read something different than other people that you're following. It's nice. I still follow a lot of booktubers that read completely different to me, but sometimes they will read something that is not particularly my taste, but is something that really piques my interest, and I'll read those books and I'll end up really enjoying them. A bit of mix and match in your reading life really just brings the fun element to it, and just reading something different all the time is just so much fun, because that is what I do. I really enjoy that I don't hold myself down to any particular genre, that I can mix and match my genres about every single book I pick up. And I know that kind of makes it hard in terms of my subscribers, that sometimes they really don't know what to expect from me, and maybe I don't get as many subscribers because people are looking for a specific genre to always learn about, but that's okay, because mixing genres is just what I like to do, and I enjoy it. Number 3 is just equipment. You don't need loads of fancy equipment. I originally started on my iPhone and I used iMovie on my Mac, which I still use, and I do have a camera now, but I kind of waited. I think I only got this camera a couple of years ago, and it is a really good camera, but I actually got it secondhand off Amazon. I didn't pay absolutely full price for it. It was still expensive, but long term it has been a good investment for me. But again, I waited a few years before I decided that is what I wanted to do. I do have a light now, but that was actually a present from my friend for Christmas, and while it's really useful, I was also just using a lamp, like a desk lamp, to shine on my face when I was filming as well, because that just did the trick just as well. I don't have a special tripod. You are on a shelf right now and a few books. Basically, I don't know if I can show you because my room is a mess, but this is basically what you're on right now. There's my light, and that's my tripod. So there you go. You don't need loads of fancy equipment, but really you just need yourself. You just need something that you can record on and something you can edit on, and that's really all you need. Read and have fun and talk about the books you're reading, and that's all anyone ever needs. My 4th thing that I've learned as well is that sometimes it's okay to take breaks. People put a lot of pressure on themselves sometimes to have a certain amount of videos per week. I generally would like to have 1 to 3 videos per week. I normally do my wrap up on every Sunday, and that's generally just because I do tend to read a lot during the week, and if I was to wait every month to do a wrap up, my wrap ups would just be too long. I like to give myself the extra time every week to be able to talk a little bit more about the books I'm reading. If I read 2, 3, 4, 5, how many I read, and sometimes I might not read enough, or sometimes I might be feeling a bit crappy that day and I might decide I'm not going to film it on a Sunday, I'll film it on a Monday or a Tuesday, and sometimes I might just skip that week and just do a bi-weekly wrap up depending on how much I've read and how I'm feeling. It's completely okay to feel jaded from BookTube sometimes. There have been times where I just haven't really wanted to film a video. I just have lost my mojo. I just feel tired, and you just, don't put that pressure on yourself that you have to have so many videos, because to be honest, I think viewers will know when you're not really feeling yourself in videos. And also your viewers and your subscribers, they have learned to care about you, and they care more about you kind of taking care of yourself than you feeling pressured to put content out that you're not really feeling. When people are having fun on BookTube and having fun in their vlogs and having fun with the videos they're creating, that really shines through. And even if that's maybe only once every 2 weeks, 2 times a month, how many times it is that you do film, I think you'd be happier with those videos in the long run than if you force 3 videos out of yourself every week. So yeah, I've just learned how to be patient with myself and learn when I just really don't feel like filming, when I want to take a break. Sometimes it's okay to take a break for a few weeks if that is how I feel. Just do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself, and yeah, take breaks. It's okay to feel jaded sometimes. And then my last thing that I've learned is something that I just feel really kind of passionate about, and that is just to support your faves on BookTube basically, and support the people who've been there with you from the time you started, and the people who support your channel, the people who comment, and the people who engage with you on your content. A lot of people who start will think that they have to run to the big booktubers who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and thousands of views and hundreds of comments, and think that they have to comment on their videos to get noticed, where really you should be looking at the people who have started out the same time as you, people who might not have as much subscribers as others, and your comment will get noticed, and it will just be as appreciated, and you have more of a chance of developing relationships and building yourself slowly through those. The people I regularly comment on their videos are people who I've been commenting on their videos for years. I love just being able to support their content and letting them know that I'm watching their videos and I'm enjoying their videos, even if it's every 2 to 3 videos they make, if I just do 1 comment for that, if I don't have something to say every time. It's hard to make a new comment in every single video that you watch, because sometimes you don't have anything to say. So if you even just space it out to every 2 videos you watch from some of your favorites, or every 3 videos, and you just leave a little comment, just let them know that you're there and that you enjoy their content and that you're watching. I've made some really great friends on BookTube and I'm really grateful for that, and just being able to support my friends in return by watching their content is really great. So if you are able to kind of build up that little circle for yourself, you'll be forever grateful for it. And it doesn't have to be something where, like, you know, you're FaceTiming these people all the time. It could literally just be that you're friends on Twitter and that you're friends in comments. You don't have to be there in every single aspect of each other's lives. If you're even just there in the BookTube part, that means something to the other person and it means something to you. And I think if people just continue to support each other like that, then yeah, that means everything. So those are some of the things that I think I've learned from BookTube over the last 5 years. If you guys have been on BookTube for a while, or if you are just starting and want to ask any questions, or if anyone else can kind of leave the lessons that they've learned and the tips and tricks and stuff like that down in the comments, that would be amazing if we could kind of talk to each other about all those different things that we've learned. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and here's to another 5 years.